Hey, Shalom. First of all, to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakwakadash. Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. I want to give a double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, stopping this truth. I want to give a peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth who teach this truth and risk their life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Lord, the video's edifying. Lord, I can get something from this video. Quick video through the spirit, man. Just grab a couple different precepts here. Again, Lord, it's edifying not only to myself, but to you, Akim, and you sisters that may watch the video. What it's going to be about is just being joint heirs with the Lord and understanding, or even on this side, what that come with when you come into this truth, right? And what I mean by that is that, putting off the old man and, putting on a new man, it's a process. And in that process, there's certain things that you're going to have to do, certain things that you're going to have to go through, it's certain things that you're going to have to face, it's certain, things that, you're going to have to battle, you know what I mean? And, for whatever reason that the Lord have you going through, right? Whether it's to purge things, of the old out of you, whether it's for to teach you something, you know what I mean? It's just, the Lord has his way of doing things. And, scriptures say that his thoughts is not our thoughts. And scriptures also say that who teacheth like him? Who teacheth like the Lord? The Lord knows us. He created us. You know what I mean? And scriptures also say that we receive chastening now, so therefore we're not condemned with the world. Let me get that real quick. I think it's in Corinthians. Yep. 1 Corinthians 11:32. It says, but when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world. As a matter of fact, let's get that. Right quick. Let's get a couple definitions, man. Let me get that word for chasten real quick.
Strong's G 3811. Paiduo.
Okay. It says to train children to be instructed or taught or learn. Right? That's why scripture say what? Coming back to the Lord, seek him 10 times more. Right? We're being instructed. We're being taught. We're being, we're learning. It says to cause one to learn, to chastise, or castigate with words to correct. When you go to Jeremiah, scripture say what? That we should be, it says what? Even you should be discontinued from your heritage. You got to understand, man. Until we woke up, we didn't know we were Israelites, man. We thought we was niggas, spics, right? We thought we were the bottom of the totem pole as far as a people. Well, I ain't going to say we thought we were, but what was put out there as far as from the people who run the world, right, was that, we are a no people, right? We are, descendants of slaves. We don't have a history. We this, we're that, right? And you got Jake even now to this day that stop at slavery. Like, these niggas don't think nothing like, okay, no, it stops here. Like, this is where we started at. And we was in Africa. We Africans. Like, nah, you don't dig deeper into that. You don't go into the great diaspora. You don't understand history. You don't understand 70 AD. You don't get what happened, right? You don't understand, nor do you want. It's not really given to 2/3 of Jake to understand, right? These niggas gonna scoff regardless, right? So therefore, you're stuck in where Esau wants you stuck at, right? Is being black, being Mexican, being fucking Native American, right? Being, Latino. That's where you keep it at. And you say, oh, this is my culture. Like, no, you got to understand you have a culture before that. Before that culture that was given to you, before you spoke Spanish, you spoke Hebrew, right? Before, and I live out west. So out in the west, you have a lot of Gad, right? Whether it be in Cali, Arizona, New Mexico, Idaho, North Dakota. Like, you got a lot of Gad. You have a lot of Gad, man. And Gad, they have this language. I don't know if bros ever heard Gad speak their language, but it's like a chopped up language, but they understand it. Like, they had some shit called the Navajo Code Talkers. Like, you know what I mean? If you YouTube that, you know what I'm saying? You kind of could get a little bit of their language, what they talk about. But before they spoke that, what they spoke Hebrew. You understand what I'm saying? This is why they had clothes with fringes on them. This is why Gad wear ponchos. I mean, not ponchos. Like this is why which Gad do too, but this is why Issachar wear ponchos. Like you got to go into the history, man. Before your last name was Gonzalez, before your last name was fucking Hernandez, before your last name was Fernandez, you know, or Filiberto or Jesus or all this, bro, you were Hebrew. You understand? Even Southern Kingdom, nigga, before they called you niggas, before they called you and I'm speaking to, you know, 2/3, right? Like, you know, I'm not speaking to bros. Bros already in the know, right? But you niggas in the world, before you were called, you know, Negro, before you were called Black, before you were called African American, before you were called Haitian, before you were called Jamaican or West Indian, right? Before you were called Afro American, before you were called all these different names, you had a history. And you got to go back to your history. As a matter of fact, the Southern Kingdom was the last to leave the land as a whole, okay? When you go into the Northern Kingdom, they've been out the land, man. They were in the Assyrian captivity. They've been out the land. You know, the Southern Kingdom was really the last ones to lose the heritage, man. You know what I mean? As far as knowing, you know, Scripture said that, you know, the Lord is going to raise the tents of Judah first. Judah is what? The Southern Kingdom. You got Judah, so-called Negroes. You got Benjamin, right? So-called West Indians. You got Levi, so-called Haitians. You understand? Like when you dig back or dig deeper into your heritage and your roots, you figure out that, oh, okay, we actually have a history. When you go into Deuteronomy 28:15 on down, you go into the curses. You actually, oh, okay, well, we identify with these curses. Oh, okay. Then you go into the, you know, the history about what happened, you know, the great diaspora, which I mentioned earlier, right? What happened in 70 AD, what the Lord looked like, what his people looked like. You know what I mean? What did they call certain prophets, right? What did Solomon look like? You saw, oh, okay, you start putting two and two together, and then boom, it all lined up, right? But Jake don't think it profited them any. They rather, you know, have their mind set on America, have their mind set on, you know, this world. In this world to choke the truth about you. You know what I mean? Your mind is a very, and I've learned a lot about the mind. Your mind is a very powerful thing, man. You know what I mean? Whatever you feed it, it'll grow. You know what I mean? That's why you got to be careful what you watch, be careful what you see, be careful what you listen to if you can't handle certain things, man. Because your mind, you wonder why you had these thoughts, but the whole time this shit been programmed in you subconsciously. Now you might be negative as fuck, right? You might be a super negative person, right? But once you identify that, you got to change your mental patterns, man. You know what I mean? And replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts, right? Because negativity could lead you to be faithless. Okay? It's easy to be negative. That's the easiest thing to do, right? But when you positive, man, you add some faith into that. That's a beautiful thing, man. Okay? It says to cause one to learn, to chastise, or castigate with words, to correct. See, to correct. Okay? Scriptures say what? That if we are not, if the Lord don't correct us, it says chastening, it says no chastening from the moment seems to be joyous or grievous, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because if you're not chastened, then you're considered a bastard, okay? It says of those who are molding the character of others by reproof and admonition of God, to chasten by the affliction of evils and calamities, to chastise with blows, to scourge, of a father punishing his son, of a judge ordering one to be scourged. So basically to be corrected, okay? Let me go back here. Chasten, let's go to condemn. It says to give judgment against the judge worthy of punishment, to condemn by one's good example, render another's wickedness the more evident and censurable, right? So it says to give judgment against the judge worthy of punishment, right? And that ultimate condemnation or that ultimate judgment, right, is what? Those thermonuclear missiles. Yeah, you have the said perils first, right? But if you miss the perils, if you somehow survive martial law, if you somehow survive the famine, right? What else is coming? What is that end all, that finisher, right? Is the thermonuclear missiles. Okay? That's what it is. Okay? But let me go back. It says Romans 8:16, it says, The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High, and of children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with the Mashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. See? So if we suffer with him, then we'll be glorified together. Right? When he received glory, when he received his, because it's his kingdom. Right? So when he's immortal, guess what it says? This mortal shall put on immortality. Right? It says what? In a blink of eye, we shall be changed. 18, it says, for I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory that which shall be revealed in us. So the suffering of this present time, it ain't even worthy. You know what I'm saying? To be compared to the glory we're going to receive, to the power we're going to receive, right? And you talking about having nations in captivity. I was watching the Apostle Gabar video last night, man, when I was, driving, and he mentioned, he was like, yeah, slavery is coming back to the world. You know what I mean? These other nations are going to be in captivity, and that's just what it is. And anybody that get offended of that don't understand the scriptures, right? You got to understand, man, being an Israelite, having the nations enslaved, being an Israelite, it's like having the nations in captivity is a byproduct of being an Israelite. All right? That's what it is. Colossians 3:1, this says, if ye then be risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Set your affections on things above and not on things on the earth, for ye are dead, and your life is hid with Hamashiach in the Most High. When Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. How do we set our mind toward, the things above? Well, following laws, such as commandments to the best of our ability, staying in his word, staying brotherly, doing what the Lord commanded us to do, right? Keeping our eyes single towards the goal, right? Using the world, not abusing the world, okay? 4, it says, when Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Mortify therefore your members, which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry, right? It says, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience, in the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. And that is the number one enemy in this truth outside of the other nations, man. Yo, that old man. Because, majority of the time, you know what I mean, you've been in the world longer than you've been in the truth. So that old man is like, it's a war putting them off, but guess what? You have to put them off to the best of your abilities. Okay? It says, this is 10, it says, now put on a new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him, right? Which is righteousness, not wickedness, right? Righteousness, having mercy, having understanding, right? Seeking understanding, seeking wisdom, right? Applying the wisdom once you've learned, right? All right, these are all the things that which we, which we have to apply. This is 12. It says, put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Hamashiach forgave you, so also do ye. When you go to Sirach 28, if I'm not mistaken, it talks about, if you have holding a grudge, towards a brother, you asking for, and asking for mercy, right? Who will hear your prayer, man? Okay? This is Sirach 28. Yeah, and 1, it says, he that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he hath done unto thee, so shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest. See, it says, one man beareth hatred against another, and doth he seek pardon from the Lord. He showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself, and doth he ask forgiveness of his own sins. If he that is but flesh knoweth hatred, who will entreat pardon of his sins. Remember thy end and let enmity cease. Remember corruption and death and abide in the commandments. You understand what I'm saying? It says, remember the commandments and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest and wink at ignorance. You know what I mean? So you grudging. Are you seeking vengeance? You're not forgiving. All right, scripture said, if your brother forgive you, after your brother offend you, forgive him 7 times. You know what I mean? So, 7 is the number of completion. So, forgive your brother, bro. We flesh. You know what I'm saying? We in this thing, we flesh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hold the brother to a certain standard. You know what I mean? But also understand that, hey, bro, sometimes bros fall short. Even you might fall short. You don't know what you're gonna do, man, in this truth. You understand? So that's why the first thing we have to seek is forgiveness, because we don't know. You know what I mean? You don't know, man. You know what I mean? But if you holding something above a brother's head and this and that, or that brother should have did this and did that, and then you won't even, like, bro, oh my God, you create schisms. You know what I mean? But the Lord see all that though. Like, what did you do? You know what I mean? What did you do to mend the situation? Or did you just hold it against that brother in secret? And no, man. I was saying in the world, each one teach one, man. You know what I mean? We're not, bro. Our mind is not of the world. Our mind is of this. We're renewed. We understand the truth. We got to hold ourselves accountable. We got to walk upright. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. Right? These are things that we have to do. These are things that the new man has put on, man. You understand what I'm saying? This is, this is not a thing of finger pointing. You know what I'm saying? This is a thing of, let's figure out how we can, do our best to be blameless. Let's figure out how we can do our best to be brotherly. Let's figure out, what we can do to benefit the truth. Let's figure out, how to hold this thing to, hold this truth, man, to the Lord come. To the best of our abilities, man. And we could do that by helping one another, not holding grudges against one another and, revenging and, pointing fingers and shit. You know what I mean? So with that, man, Lord, be those edify, lonely Akim. Got something from this video. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash. I want to tell you, brothers, keep pushing on to the next. Shalom.